the Egyptians do not have such sophisticated equipment to gather information. But the Egyptians have used
Let me write it.
their officers and soldiers, he called them the human radars. The human radars which succeeded in detecting more than 80% of the information about the Israeli force.
Wow. This is the power of Allah being supporting the Egyptian soldier.
Really, the Egyptian soldier is one of the best
On
warriors.
earth,
Oh, yes.
on earth. This is
Oh,
what Prophet Muhammad told
yes,
us.
yes.
As well, you were on the top of the military reconnaissance unit in the year 1989. How does that compare, being assigned to the same job both in peace and war?
No, it was, the long range reconnaissance group, it is a branch of a reconnaissance as a whole.
Mm.
There are many other, branches concerning the reconnaissance. So after I have done my job during the October War, and I continued my work in the reconnaissance units, and at the end I was appointed to be the head of the reconnaissance department. So I think at that time also I have added a new, methods to our reconnaissance units by having the RPVs, the remotely pilotless aircrafts, which we don't
RPVs.
have, as you mentioned before. That was some kind of adding the sophisticated equipment for the reconnaissance. The RPVs, it is an aeroplane with equipment which can detect the enemy in depths up to 200 kilometers day and night by having the real picture at a real time. Maybe the Israelis have it maybe before us, maybe 10 years or more, but we succeeded at last to find out such, new methods to our forces, and I succeeded to start establishing that the first unit of such new kind of reconnaissance to our armed force.
Now we'll talk to you about your academic achievement. Despite fighting October War, you were interested in conducting some research. You did your master's?
Yes,
More
master
than
degree.
once?
Yes, 2 times.
2 times. One was in Russia?
Yes.
Yes. Tell us a little bit more about that.
I was a captain.
Uh-huh.
It was the first step for me to have large scale view about the military philosophy, and it was really a good start for me to.
Maybe I'd like to know what motivated you to go through the academic life.
No, it is not academic. This is a procedure for our, promotion in the our Egyptian Armed Forces. That means you have to take the staff college to go further in your career in the armed forces. Without having the staff college, yes, you cannot go on in your career.
I
So
get it.
it is very essential for every officer in the armed forces to receive
This is the way they keep the officers aware of the latest developments in the world in their field.
Really, that is one of the good, procedure in our armed forces, to have updating the officers by all the new military philosophy all around the world.
Tell us a little bit information about your masters in Russia and that experience.
Yes.
What was the topic?
I spent in Franz Academy.
First of all, when was that?
It was in 1968.
68.
After the aggression of 1977.
In preparation for the war?
Yes. It was step one for the preparation of the war, to have very qualified officers in different branches to be ready for planning and arranging our forces for the coming war and the maybe we are planning for 4 or 5 years to have all the capabilities to launch another war to eliminate our territories from the Israeli forces, especially in Sinai. It
What was
was
the
it,
topic of your master's then?
it is military philosophy
Military philosophy.
and concentrating on reconnaissance. Right. It was the main job for us during this master degree, how to put our efforts, all of our efforts, on reconnaissance and especially the long-range reconnaissance in the enemy rear.
You didn't find a problem to reconcile your military profession with your academic life and your studies. You didn't find any problem reconciling both of them.
No, no, no. They are together.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you were then appointed to lead the units deployed at the borders after that.
No, after I finished my career in the reconnaissance units, I spent more than 25 years in reconnaissance units. And
Then I jumped 25 years by this question.
really,
By this question, when you joined the...
after I finished my job as the head of the reconnaissance department, I spent 25 years in reconnaissance until I have been appointed to be the director of reconnaissance department in our armed force.
Yeah.
And after that, I spent 3 years in my position. And after that, our armed forces wants to let me give my experience to other forces. So I have been.
When was that exactly?
It was in 1991.
1991. Then we jumped.
I have been appointed to be the commander of border and coastal troops in our armed forces.
Well, that takes me to ask you one of our fundamental questions. If you go back in time, who does quickly come to your memory that you can never forget? Maybe was inspiring or did manage to leave a mark on your path to success?
From the first beginning, I think that General Fauzi, General Muhammad Fauzi, I learned from him the concept of discipline. And General Gamasi, I, anything concerning the estimation of the situation and the vision for the future, I learned it from General Gamasi. And at last, I think I remember well.
What exactly did you learn from him?
From
General
Gamasi, how he managed for bringing the vision for the future, how the good estimation of a situation and give you.
He was a visionary person.
Really, really. And he was very intelligent one. And at last I learned from one of my commanders. He was the commander of my division. We were at that time in 1967 aggression on the first line in Sinai. We are the main forces behind the borders, and he had been appointed to be the commander of the division. Just he came from, he was the military attaché in Germany, and they have appointed him to be the commander of our division, the main division in Sinai. And even the situation was for him was not very clear, but he was during this aggression very quiet, giving his staff the ability to think, to estimate the situation, to express themselves by their ideas about how to manage the situation. So it gives me really an example when the situation is very critical one, how to manage this critical situation in very quiet and wise methods by to achieve the success in such cases.
The story isn't over yet. A lot of wonderful information in the coming episode. We'll be digging more to unveil more secrets of his success and how he did deal with challenges that faced him. In one of our last episodes, we invited Ambassador Fath Shazli, who unveiled a lot of effort being put into catching up with world efforts of demining land and removing threat facing its inhabitants. Me being following this issue for a while, I was so moved by the risk not only being it on the lives of the inhabitants, but demining project's members as well. Especially when I heard some of their daughters talking about their fear of losing their fathers, saying they know whenever they are leaving, they might not be able to see them again. And receiving a phone call from one of our viewers who told me that they managed to use airplanes to carry out a part of the job, and me being aware of efforts to replace humans by robotics, though of course we'll need to wait for a short or long period of time, that motivated me to spearhead the opening of a new segment in the program Global Impact to open the discussion on the issue. Is it possible to rather direct the efforts on displacing people leaving the job of direct contact with the mines till technology is able to carry out the whole risky part? And that was the opinion of Ambassador Fath Shazli, who mainly saw it impossible to convince the inhabitants to leave their land. We'll play the tape again. Here it is.
Mine Actions has 5 pillars: demining and mine clearance, victim assistance, mine risk education, advocacy, and there is a 5th pillar, which is demolition of stockpile, national stockpile of anti-personnel mines, and the explosive remnants that are still killing Egyptians until today of the Second World War. So we supplied that unit with 250 so far, because we are going to make further procurement in the future. We supplied them with 250 detectors, 25 bomb blocks, 250 protective suits. They would not leave the land. If this notion of displacing them would be evoked, we would lose their confidence instantly.
Even if they are losing their lives? So let's say, what if we put our resources into providing a better chance of life safe and secure? A chance to live and enjoy peace of mind. Will they insist to risk their lives and their children's as well? Plus that of those deployed to these places. Our guest today provided us with some new data saying the cost of the technologies is so high and vigorously exceeds that of using humans. But we decided to continue raising awareness about the issue and opening the discussion, especially for Egypt being the most affected country of the coast, that leave an injured or killed civilian every half an hour around the world.